Almost.
I do need to proofread the next one though, because there was a one-digit major error in the aerobic treatment, substitute treatment resolution number. It said where the aerobic treatment assessments would cost between $8,000 and $12,000. It read between $8,000 and $112,000. I'm sure anybody that read that said, nah, it's got to be misprinted, but.
Shame on you.
Oh, okay, well, I got the dollar on the truck.
This is our second reading.
Correct, public hearing. You say when you came in here?
That's why this one is called the
But
line.
this-
There's only one.
There's no gap.
And two, which you don't.
Okay, well, it's just saying that it's a public hearing, and that's it. And then there's for first reading.
You got to choose.
We left, we were gone by 11. Drink beer. Somebody got to No, yeah. That's too much work.
The old ones wouldn't have a lot of those.
Plenty.
Town of Malabar regular town council meeting Monday, July 16, 2018 at 7:30 shall commence. Please stand for our pledge.
As we bow our heads to pray, may each of us thank our Creator for the privilege of living in and serving our community. We ask for wisdom and guidance in any and all decisions. We also ask for protection of the members of our armed forces, pray for their safe return, and to give strength to their loved ones. These we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Chair, Mayor Patrick T. Riley.
Here.
Vice Chair Steve Rivet.
Here.
Council members Grant Ball.
Here.
Laura Mahoney.
Here.
Dick Korn.
Here.
Danny White.
Here.
Town Administrator Douglas Hoyt.
Here.
Town Attorney Carl Bone.
Here.
I'm the Town Clerk Treasurer Debbie Franklin. And for the record, the Fire Chief Mike Foley is also present.
Is there any additions or deletions or changes to the agenda? I have one. I'd like to have Resolution 7-2018, the Great All financing. We already voted to allow the price. What we're going to do tonight is the financing part. That'll be done under, just after I resolutions.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the town council meeting minutes of July 2nd, 2018.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Any discussion or changes?
I have. I apologize for not writing I've already sent a paper copy to Debbie's email, but there was no ink in the printer. Since I don't use the printer that much, maybe a month ago I didn't know that. But for the minutes, I cannot in good conscience vote these minutes in. As workshop packet clearly states one thing and the minutes state another thing. You can check at 6/25/18 the workshop packet compared to the minutes, and also what exactly happened to the unanimously voted abbreviated minutes without opinion.
Any changes?
There's 7-2 minutes.
Right, but they discuss in the minutes the,
Oh, the workshop minutes?
yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Any other? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 4-1. Move on to attorney's report.
No report tonight.
Move on to staff reports. Doug?
Okay, three things. The individual at AAA Malabar Storage that put in the concrete road is finishing up the apron. The pole's been moved, and just as a little note of humor, they put a guy wire on the pole, they being FPL, and they put the guy wire so that the anchor was back in the middle of the road. Get it?
Was that the same? But they did move the pole.
But they did move the pole. And actually, they came out and did move the guide wire. So when we were on with that, I would expect that the entrance onto the road will improve by tomorrow or Wednesday as the latest. And the good news is this was all done by the individuals on his expense, so it didn't cost the town anything. It would really improve the appearance and benefit to the town. The ditcher, I finally got a hold of the salesman, and he said, well, we were ordering a saw blade for you. And I said, I don't quite understand that. Anyway, we're working with a temporary interlocal with Palm Bay so that they can come over here for a morning and do a demonstration. And depending on the outcome of that, the council's opinion of it, we'll move ahead with that. The other thing that I have is the Great All's on order. We're about 60 days out on that. That's it.
Thank you. Any question? Move on to the fire chief.
Evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'll go through June's calls and then July's. I wasn't here most of the last meeting. June 15th to the 22nd, I had 6 calls, 5 EMS, one canceling dispatch. 22nd to the 28th, 8 calls, 5 EMS, 1 motor vehicle accident without injury, 1 with injury, 1 illegal burn, and 1 power line down. So, and the end of the 29th, I had 6 calls, which was a total of 33 calls. To date, we're at 237 calls. We had a wonderful time. We had a car wash this weekend. I'm sorry y'all didn't come out. The volunteers did. So we had a very good turnout. We made about $500. So that goes back into our kitty. So it helps our budget. Any questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, short and sweet. Y'all made it.
Next one.
When is the next one, Coke Pancake?
And that's in 2 weeks. I'll let y'all know. We'll get an email on that for the pancake breakfast.
Saw you guys out putting out a fire on a forklift, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Move on to the clerk.
I have nothing.
Come on,
I have a statement on just, I just have a comment. I did not receive a review of the staff opinions in the mail vote, nor do I approve the opinions put out by staff in the mail vote. Thank you.
And move on to public comments. We have 1 speaker card. Stu Buchanan, we have 3 minutes, and clock's on the podium.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Stuart Buchanan. My working mail address is P.O. Box 1545, Titusville, Florida 32781. I'm here tonight representing one of your property owner is Mr. Scott Globitz, professional engineer and owner of BSE Consulting Engineers in Melbourne. The only reason I'm here tonight is to ask the mayor and city council to consider placing our request on a future agenda. That is the only purpose I'm here tonight. I'll be very brief, because I know you have a full agenda in front of you. Mr. Globitz owns a piece of property which is partially in the city of town of Grant Valkyria and partially in the town of Malabar. The taxable portion of that, which his house is on, is actually in the town of Grant Valkyria. Grab this real quick for the benefit of the audience. The other portion that he owns, which is the vacant piece, which is actually ag exempt, it has an agricultural exemption over all of it, is within your town limits, town of Malabar. The property can only be accessed through Grant Valkyria. You cannot actually get through the property through the town of Malabar. It is bordered to the north by Harris Corporation and to the south by the county Grant Valkyria Airport.
Is it a separate deed from the one the house is on?
Yes, sir. That is absolutely correct. Yes, sir. What our request that we're asking you to place on some future agenda, of course your city clerk would have to do the advertising and all that, is we're requesting to take the vacant portion, which is ag exempt, de-annex it into Brevard County so we can annex it into Grant Valkyria. And here's why. As I mentioned before, the access and the services are all provided through Grant Valkyria. You cannot physically get to the property through Malabar. The property itself that we're requesting the de-annexation is in fact ag exempt and is going to remain so. The town of Grant Valkyria, who we've met with twice, is applying for grant funding for the Goat Creek outfall. Their plan is to put the 2-pond treatment system on this property. As part of that grant, they're going to put the 2-pond treatment system on the western portion of the property. To do so, it would need to be in the town of Grant Valkyria. Again, I'm not asking you to make any decision tonight. I'm simply asking if you would please place it on a future agenda. As I discussed with Mr. Hood from Grant Valkyria, Grant Valkyria and Malabar are neighbors, obviously. I'm certain at some point in the future, you'll see some other request. It might be the other way, where the town of Malabar needs a piece of property from Grant Valkyria. I'm sure you're going to be neighbors for many decades to come. Yes, sir. So again, that's it.
Time's up.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, move on to our first public hearing. It's MSTU question for 2018 ballot, ordinance 2018-06. This is our second reading. We'll open up for public comment. None. Close the public comment and turn it to staff. Is there any comments from staff?
Do I need to read it by title only again?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes. Okay.
Ordinance 2018-06, an ordinance of the town of Malabar, Brevard County, Florida, repealing ordinance 2016-01, calling and scheduling a periodic election to determine if the town should continue to participate in the Brevard County Municipal Service Taxing Unit, MSTU, for law enforcement, providing for the manner in which such election shall be conducted, establishing the form of the ballot for such election, providing for an effective date.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve the ordinance.
Any further discussion?
May I ask? This will be the third or fourth time that we've had such a ballot out every 2 years since 2009. Anyhow, 5 times. May we have the wording on the ballot itself that the voters will read to be the same as it's been in the last few years? So there is no further confusion on the part of the people. There has been one of the times, I can't remember which year. there was some confusion because the wording was changed.
What wording?
The wording of the ballot, when you go in to vote and you read the ballot, that's what I'm talking about.
What wording?
Actually on the ballot.
What wording are you,
I'd like to
Which
read the
wording
sentence
would you
was the
like?
last time.
Excuse me, I asked that question before and Debbie confirmed that this is the original wording, so,
That's important to me.
yeah, it's important to all of us.
so the wording in Exhibit A is what we're gonna have on the ballot?
It's just the same as what.
I can live with that.
And this is for approving it as it has been.
Any further discussion? We'll do a roll call vote.
Councilmember Ball,
Aye.
Councilmember Mahoney,
Aye.
Councilmember Rivet,
Aye.
Councilmember Corn,
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move down to Resolution 07-2018. Please read by title only.
A resolution of the Town of Malabar, Brevard County, Florida pertaining to the acquisition of a 2018 Gradall XL 4300 with 60-inch dredging bucket, authorizing the town to enter into a municipal lease agreement with Branch Banking and Trust to provide the funds required to secure this acquisition, providing for repeal of resolutions or parts of resolutions in conflict herewith, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Ball,
Aye.
Councilmember Mahoney,
Nay.
Councilmember Rivet,
Aye.
Councilmember Corn,
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Motion carried 4-1.
Thank you. We'll move on to miscellaneous, Form DR 420, tentative maximum millage and public hearing date. What we're doing is we've got to discuss the millage rate that we want to set for next year. And we're going to have workshops on August 13th and August 27th.
July 23rd also, after the special meeting.
Oh,
So
July
that's next
23rd.
Monday.
So do we have to establish the rate tonight to go into the budget workshop? Or?
Well, this is how it works. By August 4th, 2018, we must tell the property appraiser what the prior year's millage was, what the current year's rollback rate is, what the current year's proposed maximum millage rate will be, and then the time, the date, and the meeting place for the first public hearing. All of that information is contained in the trim notice that the property appraiser mails out to
Correct.
18th of August. So in order for that to go to printing, they have to have it by the 4th. And this is our last regular council meeting in July, so this is typically the one where we set those two items.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I must take issue with the way you said that. No matter what we said here, that's not our proposed millage rate. It's our proposed maximum. We can
Correct.
go no higher than that.
Correct.
If you'll remember, a year ago, there was a citizens uproar because they thought we were raising our taxes 5%. We need to be very clear that even if we do to say 5%, where it's now what, 1 or 2 point something or other, we're not going to go to 5 probably. I'm not going to say what we will, but we're not saying we will. We can, all we will be saying with this is that we can go no higher than that, and that we have not yet, at that time, will not have yet decided what our millage rate will be. There was a lot of confusion last year. I'll tell you, this guy lives a couple doors down from me, Doug had to entertain him in here one day because of this. The guy thought his whole tax bill of $2,000 was going to go up 5%. We need to be very clear to the people on what we're doing. They don't all have privy to the knowledge that we should have, because we know what we're doing here. They're not in all of these meetings except the few that are here this evening. But all we're doing is sitting, we're saying we can't go no higher than that when we do have our budget meetings. Can't go no higher. How about my teacher?
It's best for us to just make it the max,
Yeah.
and then.
We need to be very careful on how we say this.
Which gives us maximum flexibility, right, we're actually determining.
So that would be the motion.
Which is what is.
try to eliminate misunderstandings.
And that's still going from a millage rate of 2.09 to 2.15.
Correct.
I mean,
It's a difference of $47,000.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
The one other point that I bring up, is one of your enclosures is the list of all the meetings that I give you in November. And at that time, because I didn't know when the county was gonna hold their public hearing, I had tentatively penciled in September 4th for this first public hearing. But on the calendars that I sent out, I did an arrow and kind of moved it to the 5th for you to consider Wednesday the 5th instead of Tuesday the 4th. And that's just to accommodate somebody's schedule. Either date will work, it doesn't conflict with the county.
So I'll entertain a motion to set the millage rate to the maximum.
Which is 2.1582.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Have a good evening.
That's a record, at least this year.
Better write that down somewhere.
Okay, so just for clarification, the date selected was September 5th, what did you say?
Hey Doug, did you leave it?
We
haven't discussed that?
No.
Be okay for it? All right.
That actually is not good for me because I work that day. But I'll see if that's what is better for, who is it that we're changing the date for?
The mayor has
That's not, has a, you have a commitment. Okay, I will,
And it's the day after Labor Day.
2 days after Labor Day, actually.
Tuesday is the day after Labor Day.
Right. So I'll just have to, okay, I will see what I can do.
So it's Wednesday?
so 9/5.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Wednesday. Thank you.
thank you very much.
All right,
I'm
move
Semper
on to-
Gumby.
Go ahead.
Always flexible.
All right, we'll move on to council reports. Laura?
Okay. I just have a few things. The biggest concern that I'm hearing from the citizens has been, the main concern is how the town uses the budget, and the main concern is a shift from basic ability to maintain in the past to a tax and spend philosophy is what they say. And there's a concern about much needed transparency. People would like all records to be visible and uploaded on our town website if we could move towards doing that. Thank you.
Steve?
We had a question, I think it's still hanging from before. What are we doing with Spring Fest, Fall Fest? If we're gonna have a Fall Fest, it's already getting late, are we gonna do with the Spring Fest this year? Wasn't that above the council and we hadn't finished discussing that?
You guys talked about it and suggested that I put it in the newsletter, and the newsletter went out last week, and this response that I copied to everybody was the first response. And they actually said fall or whichever is cooler.
Whichever's cooler.
So November.
But,
Well, yeah,
Grant is absolutely right with the budget and the election and everything else that's going on.
this is
We're
tight.
we're kind of running out of time here.
I'd rather see us put the effort in, we got a letter here that everybody read, I guess, that, somebody says, hey, you don't put enough effort into these things. And I would hate to try to pull off too poorly. I'd much rather wait till the spring, put some effort into this and pull off one nice one. That's just me.
Early spring,
Early spring.
Yeah, before it gets too hot.
later.
If they wanted the Dolphin or anybody else wants to do a car show in the fall, that's up to them, on their own.
Thank you. Dan?
Well, I wanted to tell Doug thank you because my issue with Eagle Road, they addressed last week, and so I was appreciative of that. Also, my wife and I were here at the Trailways and Trail and Greenways Committee meeting on Monday, and for some odd reason volunteered to fix that sign on Marie Street. And so we took it down, and we've been painting on it for a few days. We'll have the first half of it finished maybe tomorrow or the next day. And because Drew was saying that here's our premier trailhead, and the sign pointing to it was dilapidated. And actually, the sign that everybody sees coming westbound on Malabar was, when I pulled the lag screws out, it came off in 3 pieces. You know, but it'll go back okay, but the bottom part was eat up, and we had to do a lot of patching with
Is
everything.
that one of the
But it'll come out pretty good.
signs that are 3D?
Yes, yes.
We
And
got a couple of those that need to be repainted.
right, we want to, the one in Fern Creek, we want to redo that one too. And we did it all with oil-based primer and oil-based paint, so we'll have plenty to do that one also. So we'll try to get these as we go.
West side, pointing to those who are eastbound, is pretty good.
Yeah.
All the others don't.
And, but anyway, this Trail Town, I think it's only 2 people, and we only have them for the morning, so it's not gonna, it's gonna be a pretty rushed itinerary. It's supposed to happen August the 2nd, and so we're trying to get that stuff, finished up for them before they get here. And Doug, I want to say thank you for the Eva Road.
Oh, well, it should have been done, needed to be done, and thank you for.
Jumping right on it, I appreciate it, and that's all I have to say. So.
Thank you. Dick?
I have a couple of things. First of which, most important of which, is the mailboat. And because I've been out of town, I saw it for the first time last night. It's outstanding. It's as good as I've seen in several years. And the mailboat this year went out really, really nice. Very professionally done, very nicely done. I don't know who all did all of it. I'm sure the town clerk had a lot to do with it. But if we could do it like that every time, wow. Down in the articles, but just the whole presentation is very good. Another thing I want to mention is the property behind us has been sold. It's been sold by the man that, to the man that owns the storage units back here. His plan is to bring all the storage units all the way up to Malabar Road. Well, he paid $90,000 for it, which is way under what we've been told they wanted for it. And along with that, when I was asking him about that today, I had to go over and pay my rent back there. The road here, Railroad Avenue, is in very, very poor repair and needs to be fixed. And even though it doesn't go very far and it basically feeds him, it is a Malabar road. And it's getting worse and worse. It started out as a small pothole and now it's a humongous one. Not deep, but wide. No second.
I don't have anything. So without objection, meeting adjourned.
Awesome.
Who would object?
Man,
How'd that happen?
I can't believe it.
That's great. Earlier than expected. No, I just shared I just pictured everybody.
Wow.
What do you
That's what it's supposed to be.
Short, brief, and to the point.
Because those get some chicks.
It's long and tiring, but I'm fine.
Good.
Profitable.
All right.